Hey everyone, it's 2:01 p.m. on Wednesday, August 19th, 2020, and right here is my recent install, a polished brass 52-inch Hampton Bay Windward ceiling fan. I want to say it was manufactured in the late 80s to early 90s. It's got a chunky motor inside it. And since it has GE vents, like you see right there, it's basically a knockoff of the ever-popular Casablanca Zephyr. And another popular model with these vents and direct drive motor was the Moss Heirloom. I think it was manufactured to compete with that. I think Aircool was the manufacturer of the motor. I'm not certain about that, but anyway. I got this fan 2 years ago at the Fanimation Summer Group Trip 2018 from fellow collector Mark Welker. And Mark, if you are watching this, thanks again for this fan. And I did have to make some modifications to it. The light kit was something that I added. The 5-light kit and the bevel glass shades are very childhood for me, especially on GE vent fans such as this one. So the fan's not in the best cosmetic condition, but it runs really well despite some slight bearing issues. But I was able to greatly reduce the wobble by balancing the blades. But let's have a look at the sideband. I mean, I apologize if it's all pitted and tarnished, but that's just the way it came, and it's probably better for a garage fan, but it's probably the next place I'll hang it. And there's the canopy, and I had to chip away in order to add the Westinghouse safety brace right here because the junction box that was initially there was not ceiling fan friendly and would cause the fans to tilt slightly, and so it took me a whole entire day to screw that in, and turned out pretty well, I think. Let's go around, and right there is the Hampton Bay logo. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's like the late 80s, early 90s Hampton Bay logo. And let's shed a little light on the situation, shall we? Yep. And it is a 3-way 5-light kit. The outer 4 globes are engaged right now. The lights, mind you. Excuse me. And since they're illuminated, let's have a look at the gloss blade. Let me zoom in on that so you can see it. See how glossy it is? There's a pointed tip. Man, that is major childhood for me. I think it goes well with this room, like the blades and the brass, mind you. I think they're sort of like a mahogany finish, and it's very upscale. And like I said, it was designed to be the poor man's Casablanca Zephyr. It's funny how I took down the Victorian knockoff before that, but I didn't film it yet. But let's try a different setting. Just one light is engaged. And all 5 for maximum illumination. Now let's rev up the fan, but first let me show the reverse switch. How well I can see it from here, but it's there. We're going to rev it up first on low. Now what the heck, I'll leave the light on anyway. Does have some bearing issues if I haven't already established that. I'll have to give it a drink with some ZoomSpout. Medium. The noise is starting to increase as well as the RPM. I can feel some airflow, it's just on medium. And it practically is a Casablanca compared to what Home Depot sells today, as far as Hampton Bays are concerned. And let's bump it up to high, shall we? It does have a slight shake to it, but thankfully I was able to greatly reduce the wobble on this fan. And that some reason, like the if you put a 5-light kit on a fan, it kind of exaggerates the wobble. But it's not as bad as when I first hung it. It was wobbling violently, and I said I can't have that. But it does run 90% poise. When you get up to speed, it does have. When it gets up to speed, the wobble decreases. Okay, we will power it down. Do spin down here. This is one of the few Hampton Bay ceiling fans that I actually own, but after 2 years I finally got to hang it so it is a backlog. I'll probably take the fan down right after I film it later on in the day, so thankfully it was able to pass the test. For slightly subpar bearings, it had decent spin down time. Okay, folks, fan has ceased operation. This concludes our broadcast day. Thank you for watching. More to come.